Hey, true crime community, how you doing tonight? It is Friday, October 7th, and it's about, let's see, what time do we got? 8:30, so I was wanting to put this together before it got any later. It's my third video today. I just feel very compelled to keep putting stuff out there with this crap. I'm just gonna call it crap. The video of her car going into the lake, I think it's absurd. I think the story coming from Megan, from her acquaintance that she ran into at the grocery store because of the mouse, you know, if you know that story, I mean, it's kind of cute, but it's hilarious. And you know what? That's called hearsay. So if this woman really saw anything, she should be the one coming out talking to people. I'm thinking Megan got paid or something like that. She said she's a house cleaner, and I wonder if she might be a house cleaner for the Smith family. I don't know. But it's just weird, and it's just goofy, and it doesn't add up. It certainly just fits so perfectly with the video that then comes out 24 hours after she describes somebody else seeing that. Oh, and then look, you can see it too, so therefore it confirms. Okay? I'm so sick of this. I really like CNY Family. She is doing a live right now, and I was watching it, but I had to get this done for myself. Oh, she said so many good things. Some of the stuff she was going over was like the data on that camera, that fire cam. And apparently that fire cam doesn't even look that direction. Like, I've heard other people say it doesn't look that direction very often, but from her research, it doesn't look like it ever goes that direction. I don't know. Even if it did go that direction, I question it. So some other research that she did, she's been doing this all day, plugging away at it. I recommend checking out her live at some point if you didn't already. What was it that she was saying? That I lost it. I'll come back to it. Because one of the first things I wanted to go over again, and I'll write it down so I don't forget, the thing that she was saying about the I don't want to waste too much time thinking about that. So the first thing I did want to discuss, I was surprised I was talking about something that I didn't have written down. Because I kind of have like bullets of what I'm going to talk about. And then I just talk, and then I make sure that I covered them all. So the top of the list for me right now is not even that freaking film, that alleged film. Let me just say that the car going into the water, the headlights would go down then, I'm pretty sure, from everything we've heard about how cars' engines are so heavy. And that car, it looks like the lights are pointing up towards the camera. I don't know. The data that she saw was that camera had people kind of getting into that system a lot on October 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. A lot more than normal. So that is kind of supports what I was suspecting all along. That's what it was that I was going to say, then forgotten, then remembered. So, okay, let me get to my list here, because this is super important to me. And like I said, that whole thing is just another freaking distraction. I'm sure of it. And it's laying the foundation for them to come out on November 1st and say, yep, you guys already know. That's what it was. Sure, right, okay. I'm not buying it. Like I've delineated, if that were the case, that would mean that the law enforcement and all those searchers are absolute buffoons and couldn't find an elephant in the middle of a living room. Pretty much, right? Okay, so let's get on with this. I've brought this up at one other point, and I want to hit it home. We had at least 8 children of law enforcement at that party, according to the research that I've done. So I'm going to run over the list of the names of the law enforcement officers, not the kids, just the law enforcement officers, because that's public information. So Lieutenant Lisa Madden has a kid that was at that party. Shane Wright has a kid that was at that party. Angela Smith, Deputy Dave Cuneo might have a niece that was at that party. Or wait, no, she wasn't at that party. Okay, I want to know, where was she? Because she came out and said that, oh yeah, it was like Lord of the Flies there, right up front. And then she started saying she wasn't at the party. Okay, so if you weren't at the party, why weren't you at the party? And why did you say it was like Lord of the Flies if you weren't there? Anyway, back to the list. Tammy and Justin Fittiment and Andrew Holbrook and Sheriff Wu. Shit pisses me off, and I don't like cussing on my videos. I like it when other people cuss on their videos. But I mean, I think it's therapeutic. I think it's healthy to cuss sometimes, but I also just like to kind of keep it low key. So these notes that I have are just a few things, and I've already covered a couple of them. So Check It TV, Juan Sanchez. Was he at the party? Was he refereeing the fight? And who was having this fight? We've never even been informed about a single party in the two-person fight. So was this a Sammy? Was this a Kylie? We all remember Sammy saying, oh, sometimes there's a fight about who won the fight, but not this time, not this time, with that big gloating smile. That girl is so arrogant and so suspicious, and everything she says is suspicious, and then everything she posts is suspicious, and then every post she takes down is suspicious, and then when she's just like ghosting, that's suspicious too. The girl is just sus. We all know it. So having this Megan come out and try to say, oh, she's such a good person, she came out batting for Kylie and now she's taking all the heat. Bullshit. She didn't come out batting for Kylie. No, she did not. She came out batting for Sammy. So I want to know exactly who was in the fight that night. And I want to know who won. I can guess who won. I can guess why it's not in question. But I also want to know what Jagger was complaining about in the text that he sent to Kylie. The text that he alleges he sent to Kylie. And let me just touch base with that, okay? Everything I say is my opinion only. It is purely speculation, and for the case of discussion, conversation, and education, entertainment. What was Jagger allegedly complaining about in his complaint that he texted Kylie? That she had a delayed response and then said, oh, I'm sorry you're going through that. When you're dealing with disappointment and negativity, that's emotionally laden. So he's saying he was dealing with disappointment and negativity, and she didn't respond to him for a long time. And then when she did, in my opinion, is a fairly impersonal, sorry you're going through that. It's a nice thing to say, but it's not like an extremely warm and fuzzy thing to say, in my opinion. So there were just a couple other things I wanted to touch base on. And one of those is the rock and the hard place that law enforcement has placed themselves in. Because they can't say that the car was there the whole time and they missed it. They simply can't. they would all be the biggest buffoons in the world, including the FBI, including the California State Highway Patrol, including Nevada County Sheriff, Placer County Sheriff, Truckee PD, all those search and rescue people. That would mean that they were all complete, incompetent, non-professionals, in my opinion. So they just can't do that. I've said it a lot lately. That ship has sailed. They cannot say that it was a car accident and the car was there and they just couldn't see it in the crystal clear water 7 feet below the surface, 55 feet from the edge. It's not happening. So I think that's about it. This one big fat question that I wrote in all caps. Why does Sammy never state when she got home that night from the party? Never, ever, ever, ever. She talks about being in the car, on the phone, on Highway 89, in the passenger seat. That would kind of be part of your alibi. And I got home at 12:06 or 1:08 or whatever time it was. And we all know that with her cell phone data, they know exactly what time she got home. And that's not being released, right? None of the kids have said what time they got home that night. And who are these boys that blocked off the road and why? So first I thought we had heard again and again that it was like one boy that blocked off the road with his car. And it seems like all of a sudden Megan comes out and says it was 4 wild and crazy shirtless boys with baseball bats. What? Oh, Megan, get a hold of yourself. What is your motivation? Who put you up to this? This whole town is out of control, stupid. So this is my final point, and I brought this up briefly, and I think Speaks Van Holden 24/7 365. I think he was going the same direction. People need to boycott that town. They need to boycott this freaking ski season that's coming up probably any minute. I was just going to Google when do they usually expect their first snow, because my guess is that it could be this month. I would bet by November they're getting into their ski season pretty good. But I don't think they should have a ski season pretty good if they're going to conspire to cover up the death of a beautiful young woman. I just don't. So I'm just putting that out there so people can think about it and maybe other folks can talk about it. I'm just a tiny little channel at this point in time. I really appreciate people that watch and hit that like button and subscribe and share. If you share my video, that really helps. But maybe just talking about that idea of boycotting the stinking town. It's so sickening. That whole recipe for cult living of their Truckee way. What the? Ew. I would never want to live in a place like that. I've told you guys, I've been there a handful of times and I loved it. I absolutely loved Donner Lake. I loved North Star Ski Resort. I loved the places that we went out to eat. I hated looking up and seeing that freaking Donner Pass that everybody was talking about constantly and joking about. And I was just like, what the? Where am I? It's like the freaking Twilight Zone. I've wanted to compare it in a video, and I'll do that and then wrap it up. I've wanted to compare it to Kent, Ohio. Okay? We all know Kent, Ohio from the shooting, the 4 dead in Ohio, right? You do not bring that up when you're in Kent. When you are in their community, when you are at their university, you do not bring that up. You just don't. It's in horrible, horrible taste. Nobody wants their city, their college, their university to be known for that most horrific tragedy. So why this Donner Pass is named after this cannibal party, and Donner Lake is named after this cannibal party, and all this other stuff in Truckee is named after this cannibal party, and everybody just thinks it's cute. It's like Lord of the Flies. It's like Survivor. No, it's not cool. We are not living like the Game of Thrones. Sorry, not sorry. So, on that, I'm going to wrap up. I'm just really, really, really sick of it looking like Kylie's not going to get justice, okay? The girl is deceased. She's lost her life. Show some respect. She deserves justice. And her little brother is going to have a heck of a time. I'm sure he already is, trying to make sense of what happened to his sister. He's got a whole life ahead of him. There must be justice. Things have got to make sense. So on that, thank you once again for watching. If you watched all three, then I'd call that a hat trick. I think I might have had 3 in a day once before. So I got my little Zen bunny rabbit here. And I'm really, really grateful for you guys. I did get a new laptop today, so hopefully I'll be advancing in my skills because I cannot edit on this thing. And I am really looking forward to being able to share my screen and show photographs and show maps and all that great stuff the way all these fancy pants YouTubers do. So again, thank you and have a great night. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Get a good night's sleep. Take good care of yourself. Drink lots of fluids and eat your fruits and veggies and your high protein. Be nice to yourself. Be nice to people around you and just take care and have a good time. Thanks so much. See you on the next